with some friends up by Tomahawk, Wisconsin. I was going to show you my campsite. There's the Suburban, and here's the chuck wagon with the tarp over it. But here's the campground. Look at this. It's beautiful, and it's about the third week in August, and there's not a whole lot of people here. It's we're camping during the week to avoid the crowds on the weekends. But there's Jackie's site and tent, and then just down below her is Steve and Lori's campsite. And there's my tent. And here's the chuck wagon, the new and improved chuck wagon. See, underneath there that's storage that goes all the way through. So when you first get here, you take the bottom part off the side, and that's where all the tents and chairs and the propane tanks and anything and everything else is under there. And then you put the sides back on, and then you put some supports underneath, and then the top half folds down to make that table there along the side. And it does the same thing on the other side also. And here's the back. This is the new addition here, the sinks. There's the water jug. I didn't have time to make a stand for it, but I'm going to make a stand out of PVC pipe that comes apart. And then when you get to the campsite, you stick all the pieces together, and then get somebody to help you lift that 30-gallon jug of water up, so it'll be up at sink level, and then a valve on it, and then all you do is put the hose over into the sinks and open the valve and fill them up, and gravity will take care of the rest. So, and then the top of the sink folds down so that it's a table when you're not using the sink. So you got a table, and then these side flaps here on both sides, they fold down, and then the legs fold up. These legs underneath fold up, and then the whole thing packs up and then goes up and onto the back here, and then it latches from the sides, and then it encloses the whole back. There's the 3-burner stove in there. There's the steamer for as you start getting parts of the meal done, you can put them in there, and it's got a burner underneath it, so then you fill up the big pan with water, and it steams keeps everything nice and warm. See, there's the pans in there. You put stuff in. And this slides when it's not being used. It slides back in like that. There's storage under there for pots and pans and everything. There's paper towels, aluminum foil, all that good stuff. I got to come up with a better way to do the propane tank, longer hoses, but there's more storage and spice racks behind that. And then up here is the cooking utensils hanging there. There's a piece of sheet metal behind it to keep heat off the wood. And you got your spices there. There's the boombox over there. It's not working right now because the power inverter went off. Hang on a minute. I had to turn off the music. We used the power supply, the red thing up there. I had it all charged up, and it lasted a whole day and way into the night. And then it needs to be recharged now. But there's the big coffee pot. And there's your flap for the stove. This is where the griddle up here goes in a bag and goes underneath the stove there for storage. Right now I didn't level the whole chuck wagon trailer, so I've got a piece of wood under the side to get it to level it out. But normally the pieces of the legs of the stove fit down in these, and then this is PVC screwed threads so that you can raise it or lower it by turning it, and that'll fine tune the level of the stove so that the oil and all that doesn't go off to one side when you're cooking. Yeah, so that's the back. There's Nana down there. She doesn't know the camera's on her. If she did, she'd run off. Yeah, and this is this side of it. Look at her. She just saw the camera pointing at her, so she's got to run off. See you, Nana. Nana, what are you doing? She says, oh, I don't want a camera. I don't want the camera at me. She's going to go walk off out of camera range. She won't have anything to do with the camera. Well, anyways, back to the chuck wagon. Underneath the sink, I put a fitting on to where you hook up a hose then. And the hose you run off of your campsite. And then when you drain the sinks, it all goes out there. That's the hose connection under there. Okay, so then we're moving around. Well, here's the coolers. And the stuff for the dry goods, bread and all that. And then same thing on this side as the other side, storage. And then you got about a 6-foot table right there to work on. And it's all Formica. These flaps right here fold down into there, and then that whole door closes up, comes swinging around on both sides, and it closes up the whole back. That is Le Chuck Wagon. There it is, the campsite.